There's a beautiful day headed your way. Keep your head up, you'll be okay. A beautiful day waiting for you. Just open your eyes, you'll see it's true. Good times, sunshine, gonna be here in no time now. Bad times, gray skies, push them all away, turn them upside down. You're gonna break new ground, turn everything around. You're gonna live your life. There's a beautiful day headed your way. Keep your head up, you'll be okay. Beautiful day waiting for you. Just open your eyes, you'll see it's true. A beautiful day.
Alright, welcome back to the Booga Box live stream. It is Thursday night, large project night. Hope everybody's had a good week and a good September, since I guess today is the last day of September. Let's see here. It looks like I'm having a little bit of issues. Hopefully it's not too bad. Man, it's jumping up there. I don't know why I'm having problems tonight. I swear, I never know. Some nights just work, some nights don't. Hopefully it'll work alright. We'll see. We'll go ahead and get into it, but let me unroll the chessboard here. I got a little bit of work done on it this week, probably about 2-ish hours or so since last week. Thought I was going to have more time today, but ended up needing to look at the van. Our van has been overheating the last couple days. Not while normal driving, so only normally when like stopped in like a drive-through or just letting it idle for a while. Seems like the fan's having problems, so I had to go out and put the code reader on it this morning, checked it out, seen what was wrong, found the parts, got them ordered, and so that kind of took away part of my morning. So I probably only got about a half an hour into it today. Man, that thing's jumping up huge right now. Hopefully the stream is going decent enough. Like I said, my thing is showing me I'm having it keeps rising. I'm up to 17% in my drop rate, frame rate drops. My little thing telling me like online keeps going from mostly yellow into red, so hopefully the stream is halfway decent. I'm looking at it on my laptop, but it does seem to be lagging on the laptop too, pausing out on me. But it did that last time on me too, and when I went to look, I wasn't having a problem. Wife said she didn't have no problem seeing it, so I think I'm just going to go with it tonight, and we'll just kind of see how it works. Seems like I should have probably did a restart of everything today, but I haven't had any problems the last several times, so it could just be the internet though tonight too. Some nights we have just weird, just crappy internet connection. Shouldn't, but it happens from time to time, even after restarting the cable modem thing. So yeah, we're working on chessboard. Like I said, I think I got about 6 to 7 lines in it since last Thursday, which isn't a ton. Like I said, I wanted to get more into it, but I was hoping to get another hour into it today before. Well, I was hoping to get 2 hours in, but I ended up only getting a half an hour in. So I guess I missed about an hour and a half today that I was hoping to. But we'll just plug away on it, get it done. I want to be finished with this by next Thursday. Hopefully it'll be done to the point of where I maybe just have a line left to put into it next Thursday, and then we can kind of show it off before we close down next week's stream. But we'll be into October next time we stream on Monday. It'll be, I guess that'll be the 4th, day after my birthday, so hope everybody's has had a good September, and hopefully your October is even better, right? Yeah, I just seen lost signal on my laptop. Yeah, I'm 20% now. I hate it when that happens. Like I said, if the stream's not all that great tonight, I am totally sorry. If it becomes too much of an issue, well, if somebody tells me that I'm having major issues, then I might close it down. Hate restarting it, because last time I did that, the restart didn't even help. And then come to find out, it really didn't need to, because when I watched the video of it later, it seemed to be pretty decent. It was a little blurrier than normal, but overall it was still watchable. But so we'll just continue to go tonight. If I watch it later and see problems, then I'll delete it and I'll upload the recorded version, because I record every time that I stream too. So I have the same thing, that's a recorded file on my system. So yeah, hopefully it'll fix itself out maybe, but well, now I'm getting things action needed too low frames per second. That's what Facebook is telling me on one monitor, but the stream, like I said, it seems pretty decent, and then it just pauses for a second, and but there's always that lag. So when I look up, it's working, and then when I look down, I can see out of the corner of my eye that it had stopped. And then sometimes I have to wonder, was it me, or because sometimes I will stop and talk. Looks like nothing's going on. Okay, I thought I only got 2 in that one. But yeah, we should get this finished up by next week, and then the following Thursday we'll get into the new full inlay. Said I'm not going to say what it is yet. You'll probably know, I mean, what it basically is. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. Once I get a little bit into it, I'm hoping to actually start a little bit before the Thursday night stream. I'd like to get a little bit done on it, so maybe, well, I doubt the first week, maybe even the second week, you could make guesses just because, and somebody would guess it, at least after, 6 or 7 guesses, at the most. Like I said, I think you could probably figure it out pretty quick once we get into it. But, yeah, tomorrow starts October, now in my world otherwise known as Bandtober. It's since I help out my old high school band, October's the crazy month. We got parades and competitions and football games and Tuesday night practices. So basically all of October, every Tuesday, Friday, and Saturday, basically the days I'm not streaming, got band stuff I'm working on. It's kind of one reason why I picked these days, so they wouldn't interfere with band things and have to change them up. After the band season's over, I thought about changing the days, but, it's actually working pretty good. I might throw in some other nights, just because nights for streaming that, But I'm going to keep my 3 days. I think they work well. I've got the small project on Wednesdays, medium projects on Mondays. Kind of works out pretty good to kind of keep things flowing with a little different, you want to watch a little something being made. Wednesday nights is the days, Monday nights. You kind of get a few Monday nights, maybe a month's worth. It kind of depends. And then we have the long project, which I do plan on. I want to stretch them out a bit, but, I don't want anybody to get bored with it per se. So I'm kind of debating. But with the large projects, I do normally work on them outside of the stream, like I would normally this, but I've just been so busy doing other things and getting things, band stuff, orders, all that, kind of keeping me a little bit away from doing it off stream. And again, like I said, I hope that'll change. I like doing this project here itself, but when I get doing the picture inlays, I really work those, push it a little bit more on those, just because I love doing the inlays, and this is basically an inlay. But I have done, this will be my 4th board, so I have gotten more used to it, so it's not as exciting to finish, kind of, in a way. And you're doing a big old inlay, boy, you just love seeing it come together, and that's I normally will push a little harder on that. And if it was a customer's order, You know, if somebody wanted a custom board made, that would be a different story too. It would have been done weeks ago. Because I always push customer orders first, as usual. But, you know, it is what it is. And we just keep plugging along. I haven't had much chance to do any internet work to update the site with more pictures yet. And that'll probably end up maybe Saturday night. I will say at least Saturday is an early parade, so normally I'm done with those by around 1 o'clock by the time I fully get done home. Maybe 2 o'clock, I guess, if I do some video work that I want to process and get posted. Depends on what's going on and how I record. I'm not sure if they're going to be towing the trailer this week. I have for a couple years, but several years ago, I guess now. Past couple years I haven't been able to, but I normally try to put a camera on the trailer getting pulled with the band and do a time lapse of the whole parade. It's kind of a fun little thing to do. But didn't do it last year. The year before that, they didn't pull the trailer with it. Well, actually, the year before that, for this event, got canceled because of storms. And this Saturday, looking rainy. Hopefully, it's not stormy. I guess that'll be the ultimate. Storms, they might cancel it, but we'll see. We were supposed to get rain all day today, and it was ended up being sunny 95% of the day. We had a few clouds roll through at times for 20 minutes, and then sun back out. Everything kept going right around us. It's moving right towards us, and watching the radar, going, okay, here comes the rain, and you know what time it's supposed to hit, and you're waiting for it, and it doesn't happen. It's like it's sunny still. Go look at the radar again. That part fell apart, and it started back up, north of us. Like 3 different times today, it was supposed to have these storms moving through. Kept watching them, and right before they get to us, 30, 50 miles near, and they just kind of dissipate, and within 10 minutes they pop them back up, but they'd move north of us now. It's like, oh, come on, I'm ready for some rain. I mean, I don't really want the rain in a way, because then I have to mow more. But we need the rain. We haven't had a ton of real rainy days. We've had some, but alright, on to these. Let's say 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. So we're definitely getting closer. This, I think, is row 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So yeah, one more after this one. Hopefully we'll get a good chunk of it done tonight. Normally it seems like it's about 25-ish minutes per row when I'm not streaming. It's a little longer when I am streaming because I am looking around, especially on nights like this, that my stream count isn't looking good on my OBS system. And like I said, if you're catching it now and didn't catch it, we talking about earlier, when I watch this, after a stream, I normally end up playing the stream, and I kind of just let it roll in the background while I'm doing other stuff, cleaning, working on the project that I currently stream that night, most times, I will say. And especially on Wednesday nights, because I end up making a couple more bracelets if I do a bracelet on Wednesday. And I just kind of let it play, listen to it, make sure everything worked alright, and whatnot. So if I do that, and if I see that it's got too much of a problem where it drives me nuts while I'm trying to watch it, I'll delete it and upload the video that is currently being recorded. It normally doesn't give me problems. That's why I always know, it seems like when it's an internet issue, if it's a whole system issue, my videos that I'm recording at the same time get a little glitchy and stuff just because it's a system problem. But I've actually only had that happen once. The rest of the time, the stream has been iffy, but my video recorded just fine, so I know it wasn't system. So 99% of the time, that's going to be an internet issue. Half tempted to go try the Google Fiber. I've kind of been talking about it the last couple months. Actually, I hate to go over to Google, but the speeds would be a lot better than what I'm currently getting for about the same price. So pretty much got everything away from cable because we don't have cable TV anymore. We don't use their phone system anymore. Only thing left is their internet. 4, 6, 8, 9. So we'll just kind of keep going with what we got for now. The other problem is when you change that over, you gotta change all the, reset your routers, change all that good stuff, and I always hate doing that. It's always pain going through and getting all the passwords back out for everything. You know, and nowadays, I mean, it would have been one thing in the old days where you know, before smartphones and all this other interconnected stuff, you know, 4 or 5 items, no biggie, but I think right now, roughly, now I know the count is probably higher than it really is because some things are doubled because of 2.5G and 560, whatever it is, yeah, 5. For your wireless, so it ups the count, but according to, again, my cell phone, I have to use it with the routers nowadays. You can't get into them the old way. At least I haven't been able to figure out how to get into them the old way. Says I had 61 things connected. Not all of them were connected at once, but yeah, I mean, you add in all the cell phones everybody's got in the house, the computers, smart TVs, you know, PlayStations, but gaming systems, Blu-ray players, we've got Android TV players, Hulu player, you know, you got your printers. I got 2, well, we actually got 3 printers. One is set up for sublimation printing, but it still wants to have access, so, you know, a couple laptops, tablets, cell phones, yeah, it adds up quickly for sure. You're like, man, that's a lot of things. Then we've got the security system, different cameras set up for that, and to redo those, I got to take them off, and to reset them, change over, so that's part of the reason why I haven't wanted to do that yet. Just so many things. Just so many things to change, you know, and there's always things you forget. You start, you know, doing it, and you think you got it all done, and you know, 3 days later, it's like, oh man, this one's not connected. Crap. So then you have to go get the password again, because I always use crazy passwords that I won't remember. Well, actually, I do remember them after about a year, because I have to put them in at so many different times. But you know, when you're using all kinds of weird, crazy letters, symbols, numbers that make no sense, that have no meaning. Basically, I just kind of write down a weird string of stuff and then use that. So it's always a pain when you got to go get it again, find out what they were, write it down, and go to the unit, whatever unit you forgot to do. And there's always something, like I said, you know. There's always 3 or 4 devices over the next 3 or 4 days. Actually, last time we did it, what was it? I know it was the daughter's PS3. She doesn't use it very often, and so it was actually like 3 weeks after we had done the last retime. She's like, my internet's not working, you guys fine? And it's like, yeah, we reset everything, and that's one thing I didn't put the new stuff into, so not looking forward to that when it happens. But I'm sure it's going to happen at some point if I keep having internet issues. Yeah, I'm up 28% frame rate drop now. Showing me in the green, but I never trust any of it. You never know. And so, like I said, if it is choppy tonight and you're catching it now and you're not digging it, I am sorry. Though we haven't had storms, it could be that part of the storms, you know, cause an issue with the internet around here. There for about 3 weeks there, a couple weeks back, boy, it was like every night was just giving problems, and then around midnight for sure it would just crash, and that was kind of keeping me up a little later because, you know, I had things going that I needed to finish up and I needed to be online. And then that fixed itself, but tonight is not looking pretty according to that. I'll hit green, then right back down to red, and my CPU is only using 10%, so it should not be the system causing the problem. and this is all direct wired, so it's not even the wireless portion. That's when I know it's more of an internet issue, unrelated to what I'm doing. If my computer is not having problems, or having problems, but then it's even worse for the wireless people in the house. Another drink here. Let's see, what's this? 1, 2, 3, 4. This is row 4 of 7. Gotta make sure I don't miss my changeover. I kept counting 2 or 3 times per line when I got close on the row before, because I was like, I'm not missing that again. I don't have to spend another, 30 minutes pulling them all out to redo them. Still can't believe I did that. Yeah, I figures it happened during the live stream too, right? That's why I guess if I had many people, maybe somebody would have caught it before that, going, hey, why is that the squares looking bigger than the others? But, let's see what else we have going on. Like I said, we'll still have a few weeks to it, but 3rd Wednesday of October, I don't know the exact date yet. I'll have to look at the calendar. Haven't flipped over the calendars yet. I'll do that tonight before I go to bed. And I've got a few calendars here in my work area, and then I've got the ones upstairs in the kitchen and stuff. I'll have to get all those flipped over. And then I'll start remembering the days. I know most of my Friday dates just because I got band stuff going on those days, but it's kind of easy too when the first falls on a Friday. Now the next Friday what it's going to be. Easy to calculate. And I did get an email from my Twitch account. They were talking about how they upgraded and changed their way the music is going to be able to be handled through there. So I'm going to look about getting that hooked up to start getting some background music. I keep talking about it. I just have not had the time. If I had somebody that said, hey, go here, do this, I would have probably done it by now, but when I have to go read it up and look, I was like earlier today last night looking up information on the van. So I knew what codes, and then, you got to find the right parts when it comes to some things, where there are multiple, options. And this still had multiple options. I could have got it locally and probably went and got the part. Well, actually, I couldn't have got the part today. If I wanted to do some driving to go get the part, but the closest auto stores that were here, none of them had them in their store, and they could have got them by tomorrow. And or I could have drove to the other stores to get them, but I ended up finding the right thing online too. And I don't necessarily like buying my auto parts online, but man, this module was from the stores here locally was $123. I think they had a cheaper one at $111, and I was like, oh, that ain't much cheaper. And I'd rather kind of get more of the more used brand. The other one didn't really necessarily, I think it had a brand name, but one I'd never heard of. I'm not saying that they're not good, but I try to keep, I don't go with the super best of everything, but I try to at least get middle ground. And so, but I found the same thing online that I needed. What did I get it for? $74 shipped. So I was saving about $50. So it was like, do I put it off for a day or two? I guess it works out to be 2 days, but 1 day in total if I wanted to get it local. But and save the $50, and I was like, yeah, I kind of do. I hate to say that, but we don't do a ton of driving in all reality because the wife is retired, so mostly we just use the car for band events for myself and doctor's appointments for her and the boy, since they go see the doctor often. Well, the boy doesn't see it as often anymore. His He has switched over from his transplant team to a normal kidney doctor now. So that saves some time for that. It's still better than, because it would have been 5 years ago, a little over 5 years, about 5.5 years ago when he had kidney failure. And for 3 years after that, it was dialysis 3 days a week we had to take him to, 4 hours a day on those times. So there's a lot of medical driving. Then he had a transplant, and I didn't have to go do all that, and it's definitely made it easier for us driving. We put a lot of miles in the car there for a few years. So luckily we just don't have to drive the car as much now. Band events, their things, and if I have events for the Booga box, we're out at things. But here, like I said, October I normally don't set anything up because I know there's a lot of band stuff going on. There are a few that I would like to get into in October, and I could possibly, I've been half tempted to, if I knew there were going to be good crowds, once things kind of open back up a little bit more, I probably will. It's just right now, these events, there's still people getting there, but like I said, around here at least, the ones I've gone to that I've been in and ones that I've gone to just to see what the crowds are like, they all seem to be half the size of normal, so it's like, it still costs the same amount to do them, so if I only get half the crowd, I'm looking at, probably having half the sales, so. And some of these events to get into are not cheap. I mean, there are some smaller ones that I get into that are better priced, but some of the bigger ones where you're looking at, the thorough puts, 50,000 or more people, those cost some good money, and kind of afraid to get into those right now. It's been something that I've been wanting to. I've been putting a lot of them off just because it's like, when you got $300 or $400 just to get into an event, and so you're looking, I need to, minimum I need to sell is that, but I really need to sell more to cover overhead of everything that I sold too, so because everything I sold I gotta pretty much make again. So been holding me off for sure this year. 6, 7, 8, 9. Hopefully that will change. Things will get turned around. I don't know if my fall ones that I normally go to in November, December are going to happen because they're indoor events, and they have even more rules for the indoor, so I'm kind of waiting to hear on those. I haven't heard anything if they're going to happen or not. I hope they happen in a way, because that's normally my better time is November, December for the events that I currently go to. I want to start looking into getting some more Renaissance festivals that are somewhat close, but not maybe in town. One in town here I'd love to get into, but they're super expensive to get into. And it's like, well, I'd love to, and I know I'd sell good there, but whew, that initial cost is like, it just scares me. It just scares me, I'll be honest. You want to do basically 2 days from, 9 to 7. Which is decent times and everything like that, but you're looking at $800-900 for those 2 days, so that works, $450-500 a day to be at the event. I have enough stuff where I could easily make that back, but I'd be selling a lot of stuff, and it just scares me. Now, granted, Renaissance Festival is a place that I'd probably be a better selling than some of the craft fairs that I currently do, because a lot of people don't understand chainmail. But I kind of like doing that because I get to talk about it a little more with people that have seen it, don't know much about it type, When you go to a Renaissance Festival, most people know what chainmail is, so. But I do want to look at some, there are others that are, in other states close around us that, or even, I don't know, there could be some down in southern Missouri that do some. That normally just run a weekend or something like that. Our local one runs 6 weeks. And 6 weekends, so if you want to do all those weekends, you're talking a ton of money, a ton of time. So I am kind of looking at some of the ones that are a little further away, that are more like a weekend thing, and they would normally be cheaper to get into. Be some travel, but I don't necessarily mind that. got a trailer now, so that would help. And a small camper, teardrop camper. So depends on what kind of event it is. I can use the trailer and just take everything in it, or if it's someplace that I can camp decent enough, it has plenty enough storage room that I could still load up everything between the van and the camper to do an event and have everything out, for the most part at the event, so that the trailer could be, or the camper could be used to sleep in. So it's just a matter of finding the right times, and make sure it's not hot either. Hot, I'd probably rather stay in a hotel for the night. But then I have to take that into account too, raising up the price of everything, the overhead. But I'd like to kind of do some of that and get to some other places. It's something I've wanted to do here the past many years, but wife's health issues, and then just the time involved. Now it's a little easier the last actual couple years. Well, it would have been in a way if it wasn't for COVID, that all the kids have finally graduated. They're out of high school. We don't have all the school events that we have to participate in all the time now, even though I'm still helping out the band. But that takes time and everything like that. And with that not happening anymore, it's definitely a little easier. But now we do have grandkids, and they're going to start having their things. So, you can't miss those either. So, it's like never ending, I guess. It started when I was, when the first one got into kindergarten when I was 24, 25. So the past basically 25 years, I've had to have school stuff, and I thought, like I said, I thought it would end, but yeah, now that grandkids are going, it's like, yeah, I guess it just never does end, does it? Especially with 4 of them, boy, there's gonna be a lot of stuff. 4 grandkids. When you had 3 of your own kids, it was one thing. Now you got 4 grandkids. Yeah. And we had 2, and then we had a little break before the 3rd one. We had a 92, 94, and a 2000. So we had a 6-year gap there where I thought we were going to be open. And the next one came along, and I was like, well, alright, restart the 18-year countdown again. I always say that, but I love my kids, but I like to joke with them. Pick on them. They know I'm kidding, at least I hope so. I always tell them I'm kidding whenever I'm saying, look what you did to me. Look at all this gray hair. Oh, I'm not on camera tonight, but see this gray beard now? Used to be colored. It's all your fault. Grabbing a drink real quick, taking a look. Everything's still looking crappy. Wonderful, wonderful. I've seen a few people pop in and out. Hopefully they didn't leave because it was real cruddy. But it's super cruddy anyway. I apologize again. 7, 8, 9. I know I was watching Bracken Mail stream the other day. He was having issues too. But I still stuck around as long as I could. I did have to kind of take off early because I needed to get my stream set up. That was Monday night, yeah. So it's good to see his stream back. It's been a while since he had streamed. His busy time for events is during the summer, I guess, out there in California. So he had a lot of events going on, so it's been harder to stream. And it does seem like more people do stream during the winter time just because it's winter. You're kind of stuck at home, you're inside, less things going on, at least when it's not, holiday portions. Turkey Day, Christmas, etc. This is 1, 2, 3, 4. We're on 5 now. 5. Just reminding myself once again. But yeah, next week we'll get this finished up. I'll get the pieces out. We'll put out the whole board. Because I know I'm planning on pushing this week to get to a point where I will finish it during the stream next week. I mean, it'd be nice if I could get to a point where I actually had to stop working on it because of getting it done before the stream. Minimum, I'll have 1 road left, which would take us, half an hour. At the most, I'm sure. So, I will stop for sure by then. Because then we got a little play time. We can kind of set up the board, show it a little more. You know, try to have a little fun with it. But and then I keep thinking, well, maybe I should make it maybe 2 rows, so you know I don't want to necessarily end the string super early. But I'll be happy to get done with it. I mean, I've enjoyed doing it, but I have done these before. Now, granted, these are all my own rings I cut, other than the black anodized for the edging. Those I didn't do, but the rest of these, well, I grabbed one too many. There. Rest of my hand coiled up, I guess. If I hand in a way, I use a drill and blah. And then cut them, so this one will have a little more meaning, and you can kind of see it still. I don't know what camera am I on. I'm on the upper. You can kind of already see that the color is darker in my bronze from when I first started several weeks ago. Let me try to move it down here in view. It's definitely darkened up compared to the stuff I'm currently working on. It gets brighter as I move across the board. I have tried to put more out that sit out, but they sit within themselves every couple days. You know, I kind of do that and give it a stirring up to try to get some to the top so they'll start darkening up on me already. Hadn't fully made it there, but you know, I figure once I get done, I'm going to probably leave it out open. I'm going to clean it all first. Hopefully that didn't change my darkers too much, and then I'm going to leave it out, and hopefully it'll all darken up to about the same color. At least that's what I'm hoping for. 4, 6, 8. Because I don't want it to look shaded all the time. You know, as it gets even darker, this is now, you know, dark-ish compared to dark on the top. So that's one reason why I'm going to kind of give it a quick cleaning. I could clean it where they all look super bright again for a while, but I don't necessarily want that either. But I just want to make sure I don't have any little remnants of anything in there. Like I said, I cleaned all these up beforehand, and I've had very little dust or glitter, if you want to call it, whatever, you know, little things are up from closing on this one. I mean, I clean all my rings when I get them anymore, if I buy them, especially, because I usually just get them, put them in the thing, do my cleaning afterwards, and I could make a mess on my desk with the little shavings and all that. The oil's getting, you know, there's always some oil left on. Not all manufacturers, I will say that. Some of the manufacturers I get some of my supplies from. Sometimes, you know, there's still oil remnants on them, so I just like to clean them all, no matter where they're from anymore beforehand. Then after a project, I'll give them a cleaning up afterwards too, so just kind of gotten into the habit of doing that anymore. And definitely kept everything a little bit cleaner in doing so. Rings are fairly easy to clean whenever I get them. Scales and tags a little bit more difficult. They like to stick together more and more oily. But you know, when you're stamping out a tag or a scale, that's going to happen. You got a lot more oils on them than when you just put a little bit to do these. Now, a different. I'm sure that they use some type of different oil than what they use for cutting their rings compared to when they're stamping out stuff. I'm sure it's 2 different oils. And sometimes, you know, they with scales especially, I've seen, they normally run 2 strips of metal at the same time to be punched, so you'll get a lot that are kind of stuck together. With the oil sticking them, helping, and then sometimes just the edges. You know, that's one thing I have to do with my aluminum scale. Sometimes I have to do a little quick sanding to my edges, because sometimes they can be a little sharpish where I don't like them. But if I could just get plain silver one, or stainless steel, or titanium, or niobium scales, you know, I'd normally give them a good washing up, and then I throw them in the tumbler for a while and make them all nice and smooth edge. So when I go to anodize them, boy, they look so pretty. They're pretty. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. So, and I'm going to be doing some more anodizing. I got some more scales in. I did some before, but I'm going to break out the vinyl cutter and get some designs so I can put some designs on the scales and anodize them, and you know, the 2, 4, 6, whatever many colors I want to put on them. Actually, I mean, the more there is, the longer it takes. But you know, go up and you cover it up with your vinyl and etch. Oh, broken one there. You got your raise up to your voltage, get up there to get your high voltage done. Then you can take off part of your stencil, your vinyl, and start up again, because the only time that color, your first color, is going to change is once you go above that voltage. So every color you come down, then your color for your voltage, and they look kind of cool. I've done a few before, just to play around with and test. I haven't done anything on mass scale, which is kind of something I'm kind of wanting to do now, because I do want to start adding some more scales into it. I'm going to add some laser edge scales, some anodized scales with patterns and whatnots on them. I want to slowly start adding that in. Like I said, I've done it a lot, mostly for my own stuff, but I figured I was going to put some out there for other people that might like them. Because there's a lot of ways of doing scales anymore. Some people do use the alcohol inks. Bracken does some, Bracken Mail, he does some sponge anodized scales that are really cool, really nice looking. Something that I could do, but that's one of those things, again, that I hate to do something that somebody else is doing. I mean, some things you will, but he's got, good stuff there. And so, I don't want to necessarily infringe and get into his line of things there and do some sponge work. So I figured I was going to do some patterns. I know other people have done those too, but a little more comfortable with that than, kind of trying to skirt in on Joshua's stuff there over Bracken Mail. If you ever see his stuff, he's got some cool anodization stuff he does. His sponged rings and scales are really nice. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. Where are we at now? 41 minutes in the red. I guess we went down from 27 to 25% of drop frame rates on our stream. Still getting the message from Facebook. Though whenever I look up at my laptop, it seems to be doing pretty good. Right now I'm on a delay, I guess, because took my drink. It's about 10-20 seconds sometimes, it depends. Oh, there it comes back. I'm still, even though I've been streaming for a while, I still get a little weird. When I want to look at something, I have to make sure I kind of plan for it showing up where I can view it on the laptop 10-15 seconds later. Still haven't gotten used to it. I think I would after all this time, but I'm still just kind of getting used to streaming, to be honest with you. Even though I've been doing it for probably, 6-7 months now? 6 months? It still feels weird and new, and I'll say I get a little nervous before every stream still. It's like, I hope everything goes well. I don't want to screw anything up. I don't want to say anything stupid. The normal stuff that I'm always thinking on a stream. Just because it's a little different when I video stuff and I can do editing and then upload a video. I feel a lot more confident about those because I had time to play and take out stupid stuff or whatnot. Live stream, yeah, it's live. You've heard the cats meowing behind me, doing all kinds of crazy stuff sometimes. Well, I try not to get up if at all possible. I hate getting up out of my stream and stopping. But I've had to, a few times during the summer because cats would open the door. So you just never know. I guess, I had that one crazy Monday night where I forgot to eat all day. I was feeling like crap that Monday and could not figure out what was going on. I start the stream up and I'm losing my mind during the stream. I was like, yeah, I've got to shut this down. I think that was the shortest one I ever did at 58 minutes. I think that's 56, 58 minutes. But boy, I didn't know what was wrong with me till I got off the stream, was closing everything down. I was sitting there and it just dawned on me, you hadn't eaten today, dummy. As soon as I ate, I started feeling better. I'd say that was probably the worst stream I ever did. I don't even remember at the time what I was talking about. I have to go back and watch the stream to remember, because I don't remember all my streams obviously, but normally afterwards, after my stream, it's like I remember everything, blah blah blah. But yeah, that stream was just awful. And I had one other night. Oh, my stomach was just playing with me. Yeah, I remember that stream for the most part, but we had to end it just because. Yeah, bathroom was calling me for several different reasons. Luckily that hadn't happened in a while, and I've been trying to make more sure that I eat more often. Whenever I have a bad day like that, it's normally what kicks me in. I'm good for about 6 months, and then I'll start slowing back down and forgetting. Unless the wife again reminds me. You need to eat. Food is good. And hopefully, actually, without having much rain, we haven't mowed a lot lately. I'm hoping it could use a mowing, but it's not bad at all. I know, though, if we get a little bit of rain, a little bit of warmth, it's just going to king. So I'm hoping we're down to maybe 2 more mowings before the end of the year. But then I've got, several months of leaf pickup. Because, yeah, we get so many leaves in this yard. It is insane. We've only got the 4 trees. They're big trees. And really, we don't get much leaves from our own trees, which is what's even weirder. Our trees are on the south side of our lawn. And so when they actually start falling, they end up falling over into the neighbors and across the other main street here. And so our trees don't produce a lot that we have to pick up. But I'll tell you what, we get everybody else's in the neighborhood. Because that wind coming out of the northwest just pushes them right into our yard. We don't have a front fence or anything like that. A lot of people down the street on our side do, so it kind of hits their fence and stays out front. Wind picks up again, starts blowing them down their fence line, and then it hits our open property with no fence and says, here we are to have fun. We're going to hang out because we got a fence on our south side of the lawn and the north side, but the north side again, they have a front fence that kind of blocks all that, so it just kind of blows into us. We end up with, I got 40-gallon reusable bags that we put in, and I mean, we probably literally take up 50, 60 bags easy, and that's still not even getting everything. There's still much more to go after that, and it's like, that's normally something I try to do in November. I'm doing more and more every year in the fall than what we did when we first moved in. First year we moved in, I wasn't expecting it. It threw me off. I didn't have the equipment to, at the time didn't even have a rake, because we always lived in an apartment or townhome, or we didn't have any lawn to take care of. So when you buy your own house, there's a lot of extra stuff that I didn't necessarily have that, I've slowly gotten and kind of getting used to it. But then we've had just the crazy years, since we've been here. I have this inner ear issue. I think the second year we lived here, it flared up on me again when I was trying to trim up some trees and was looking straight up, and the ear rocks moved, and so I was out of whack for a couple months. Like I said, when I get a real bad episode of it, BPPV, benign paranormal, not paranormal, something proximal vertigo, and yeah, that'll throw me off at times if I have bad episodes. Luckily, that was the last time. That's when I actually got diagnosed. I'd had the problem for years before that. Every once in a while, I'd just get real dizzy, and I couldn't keep balance for years. Where, I'd go through a 2-3 month period where it was kind of basically learning balance again. It was really weird. Nobody could figure it out. Finally, when we bought the house and moved here, and I had that first episode in here, went to a new doctor because we went to a place that was closer than where we were, and they diagnosed me the first time it happened. They were like, oh, this is what it is, this is what we need to do. It was like, you're kidding me. I've been dealing with this for 6, 7, 8 years, and nobody could figure it out. Poof, here we go. But yeah, now I do these kind of weird laying down exercises. I don't do them every day, but I do them quite often. But it's made to position the rocks in your ears a little differently so that you don't do that. And now I know how to, knowing what it is definitely helps with 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. Helps with knowing what to do to, get out of an episode when it does happen. Because I still get dizziness on occasion when I'm doing things that in all reality, I shouldn't do, but, you know, I try not to look straight up anymore or look up for any length of time. I always try to go at angles to go looking up, and that's definitely helped. But being able to do the exercises keep things a little more there. When I start doing vertigo spinning, I figured out ways to hold myself, my head, shift my eyes certain ways to kind of get out of it quicker so it doesn't go crazy on me. It's definitely been better since, you know, the last 10, 12 years. And like I said, I still get them. I normally still get them once a year, but my episode's a lot lighter. I can figure it out. And, you know, normally it's just maybe a day or two that I'm having a little balance issue till, you know, get everything back to normal and as normal as can be. I guess that's the old age for you. But yeah, I have rocks loose in my head, basically. Learned a lot about the ear after they figured out what the problem was. I did a lot of looking online and everything like that. But I think a lot of things always make you feel a little bit better when, you know, you got some type of health issue and they can't figure it out. Wife was the same way. She had problems for years. Nobody figured it out. And then finally, slowly, they started figuring out what was wrong with her. Didn't make anything better necessarily for her. Just knowing it, though, I mean, makes you feel better that way. Just knowing what the problem is. But her health issues are things that will never improve no matter what. Pulmonary hypertensions, and she's got a few other issues too, a few autoimmune diseases, so, which is what the son had too, so he inherited that from the wife. That's why he had his kidney issues. 368. And again, I still hate the name for that stupid, his autoimmune disease was called Good Pastures. I'm like, I hate that name. I know I looked it up once by how it got its name. I don't remember what it was now. I mean, it's been several years, but I always hate it. It's like, I'll never forget it because it sounds so nice. I hear Good Pastures. It sounds so nice and lovely. No, it's not. Damn things will kill your kidneys and lungs. So, yeah. They told us the name, and I was just like, that just doesn't seem right. I don't like that name. Rename it. I mean, I guess you don't want to necessarily have awful names for some type of problem like that, but hate it having a good name. If it had a weird name that I couldn't pronounce, that'd be something different. At least, you know, it sounds more medical than just Good Pastures. Because I've been on many good pastures. Now, if I ever see a good pasture, it's never good anymore. It's like, no, I don't. Openness. I'll just call it wonderful wilderness. There we go. Something that's got to have, you know, something new name now. Alright, this was 5, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. So I got 6 and 7 to do still. Then we go on to our final row. So we'll probably, yeah, we should get this next row done. Like I said, these normally take me about 25 to 30 minutes in a stream. Normally closer to 30, I guess. And it's about 25, sometimes down to 20 when I'm not streaming per row. But the next inlay will be back to about the same size, so those will be about 45 minutes per row. So I'll have a lot more rings, but it is a European 4-in-1 instead of 6-in-1, like this is. 3, 4. Yeah, still at 24% and still seeing yellow and reds in my other area. And so, like I said earlier, if the stream's not looking all pretty, by the next, when I watch this later, if I don't like it, I'll re-upload the video portion that I'm taking currently. So you might see a new post saying I've uploaded a video. It's just the stream from tonight. If it's not viable, I can do the same thing on YouTube. Can't do it on Twitch though. Well, I think you can load up something to Twitch, but you know, Twitch stuff only stays around for a little bit of time. I think it's a weekish, maybe 10 days. I don't quite remember. So, if you ever want to check out any of the old videos, everything is posted up into the live section of our pages on YouTube. And you just scroll back through Facebook on the timeline. You'll eventually find everything that I've streamed there, too. I'm not sure if they put it into the video section afterwards. Oh, I did forget to share it tonight. I try to share it once a week to my personal page, but I haven't actually done that in the last couple weeks, I think. Kind of been forgetting to. But doing so, I have to make so many other changes and take time out of streaming and talking that I kind of forget. And don't want to take the time to do it. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. Forgot to move my butt cushion over again today. Now, I thought that was going to be the silly thing when I got it, but boy, it's definitely... I normally keep it on my computer desk chair. It helps there, and I'll pull it over here if I know I'm going to be here a while. If I'm only doing 20-30 minute sessions over here, I normally won't, but... Try to for my stream, and I forgot again. I can always tell about 40 minutes into a stream, I'm like, yeah, I forgot my cushion. Just need to buy another one. But the cats like them too, so... I mean, they are gel, but they're not like jelly filled, so nothing they could really mess up on them. But other than fur them up, because they definitely fur up everything they like to sleep on. That's why I've had to put up all the guards for the cat. My girl cat, Marble, she thoroughly enjoys any camera bag. I swear, it could be my large one that I can, when I got bigger things and I take all my equipment with me. It's a big bag, you know, I can put 5 camcorders in it, my picture camera, several lenses, flash, all kinds of stuff. I mean, it's a big bag. She loves that one in particular because she can stretch out across the top and it just caves in and gives her a nice cushion. But then I got my medium-sized bag. And then I have a small one that basically, if I'm just need one camera and my mic or something like that, I put in it. So it's a small one. It's not real big. It's only, you know, maybe 8 inches long. She'll, you know, if it's out, and she just loves any camera bag. I guess just the way it cradles her. And she's on it for like half a second, and they just get covered in fur. It's like, But she had found a way up on top of my shelving system. She found a way up to the top of it where I normally keep my camera bag. And I've caught her there a couple weeks ago every day. I'd put up new barriers. How are you getting up there? I couldn't figure out how she was getting up there because she never got up there while I was awake. She'd only wait till I was in bed. And then figure a way to get out there and just fur up the top of my camera bag. And actually the last 4 or 5 days I put up some of my grid walls and made barriers. Drives me nuts that I have to have them up because whenever I want to do anything now I have to move them out of the way. But it keeps my drone bags, my camera bags from getting all furried up. Drives me nuts that way. 6, 7, 8, 9. But I did know that today she found some way to get up into it. Again, I didn't see her do it, but I caught her there shortly after it happened. So she never made it up to the camera bag, but she got to the first layer of defense. And I was like, how did you do it? Nothing has moved out of the way, and then I did find one. I got some foam board that I put up. I found one foam board moved just a bit, and that's the only thing I can think of. So she had to make a jump, and it would have had to been a faithful jump because it's something she hadn't seen and gotten into, and she would have had to balance on a little thing for a short time or use as a jumping to the next. So it had to be probably a little scary because it was something new, but she found a way in there. I'm hoping I block that now off so she can't do that one again tonight. I'll find out in the morning, I guess. I gotta clean the stupid camera bag off again. I've gone through a half roll of masking tape cleaning hair off my bags. And I think it was, yeah, last Friday I had the alumni at a band event for the football game, homecoming. So I took my little bag. I didn't take all my stuff. I took my little bag because I was going to have the clarinet with me and everything. So I was trying to keep everything I had to carry low enough, because if I carried everything with me, I'd need 3 people to help me carry camera bags, tripod bags. Well, that night I had a horn and stuff, so try to make it light. I come home with this little camera bag and added on my side table here next to my computer. Went upstairs to grab something to eat real quick because I'd gotten back from the football game. I was up there for like 7 minutes grabbing my food, so I'd come back down here and start removing all the pictures and stuff off the camera bag, or off the camera. And sure enough, she was already somehow camped out on top of that camera bag. Just like you little twit. And then it was probably, didn't put it up because I was dealing with the camera in it. I had the camera out of the bag, so it was even more concave for her, I guess. But she tried getting on it 2 more times. I caught her before she got on them. Well, as she stood on them, because she'd stand up on it and kind of look around to see if I was watching. And I heard her jump up on the table, so, within 30 seconds or so, I'm turning around and looking, and she just puts her front paws on it. She looks over at me like, "Am I okay?" I was like, "No, get down, dummy." 489. So she does drive me bonkers that way. Yeah, let me grab a drink real quick. Oh, there's one of those stupid triangle bugs. I don't know what it was. Not really triangled, but they come to a kind of a point at the butt, and they're just the ugliest little things ever, and they're hard as a friggin' rock. They bounce into stuff. They just, I need to find out what the name of them are. I've had a lot of them this year. I almost rather go back. We used to be like ladybug heaven at this time of the year. The ladybugs have disappeared. The last 2 years they've been dwindling down. We'll get a handful anymore, but there for several years, boy, it was ladybug heaven around here. They found some place in the house, in the roof area somewhere, where they would migrate to for the winter. And we really haven't, we made some changes to some things, but I don't know if we blocked off their access or whatever, but we definitely had a lot less ladybugs the last few years. But these triangle bugs now, boy, they have moved in to take over. I'm finding 1 or 2 a day in the house. And down here, I can understand, because I do leave my door open a little more often, but we've never had them like this. We had 1 or 2, for years. That's all we'd see them. But the last couple of years, since the ladybugs aren't been around, they've been around, taking up their, he just flew off wherever he went. But boy, they find their way everywhere in the house. About the same as the ladybugs did, though. So maybe they just took over the ladybug hotel, and ladybugs don't have nowhere to go. That's why I keep finding these things. But they're quiet, really, for the most part. When they fly, you don't hear them. You don't necessarily see them because they don't fly much. It's like they fly, get to where they're going, and stop. And then they just walk around. I watched one walk around on the upstairs wall. Literally made a lap around the wall. Corner to the next corner, to the next corner, to the next corner, and came back. And it's like, well, you just made a lap, dude. Just walking it, though. Never flew. So you go flick them. Or when they do fly, like I said, when they bounce into stuff, they got that hard exoskeleton. They sound like a giant June bug hitting stuff, but they're not. They're nowhere near as big as a June bug, kind of. I guess round-wise, like if you looked at the top of them, they're just a bit smaller, but they're thinner than a June bug. June bug's kind of more oval and got a fat belly. These things are more flat. Like I said, I need to look up what they are so I can get the proper name. If I'm calling the right thing, I don't know, something we just learned this year. The difference between a grasshopper, a locust, and a cicada. Yeah. Because I'd always called cicadas locusts. I thought they were the big things that make all the loud noise and, leave their exoskeleton sitting around. for as long as I can remember from being a kid. Somebody told me they were locusts, and that's what I've always called them, was locusts. And me and daughter were having a discussion one night what a grasshopper was. Katie did, locust, and then we come up with the cicadas. Now, we don't get the evil red-eye cicadas around here. We get more of the, I like to call them army, because they're more green, black, and with normal eyes. And yeah, I've always called them locusts, and then come to find out what locusts were and stuff. And we had a whole little learning session for about 2 weeks as we both were looking up different definitions, different pictures of all those. Because the other things I was calling grasshoppers were, I guess, katydids. I guess they got another name too, but they're more skinny, I guess, than grasshoppers, and I don't know. It was weird just because I kept hearing cicadas, you know, they talk about the cicadas at times when they emerge. And I mean, I guess I see these every year, so they're not the ones that disappear for years and come back, because there's always several of them every year and leaving their carcasses sitting around on trees and crap. So we get those every year, but I always called them locusts. Now I feel like an idiot for calling them those for so many years, if somebody knew what they were. But I kind of wonder if it's an area thing, because whenever I say locust around here before, everybody would think the same thing. They thought it was the same bug. But I guess that's different parts of the country we'll call, you know, around here we call them roly-polies. I thought that's what they actually were called for the longest time, not pill bugs. But I guess that's what most people are, that most people call them pill bugs. And I was like, no, that's a roly-poly. No, those are pill bugs. I've never heard that before. Used to play with them as a kid all the time. They're roly-polies. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. Got one on the perfect count. Wow. Now, I will say, at least, I guess, when I'm going in the red, I'm only seeing it dropping down. I'm normally averaging about 4,000 kilobytes per second, and I'd be in the green. And when I see it drop down in the red, I'm only going at about 1,000. So I guess it's still kind of there, just not totally bad whenever I am giving it a quick look. I don't think I've had anybody comment. If anybody has tried to comment tonight and I'm not seeing it, that could be part of the problem. I'm sorry. Though I do know that I've only got a few viewers that have been in and out, so. But if you have made comments and I'm not replying to them and that's why you left, I am sorry. You might not ever hear that, but I could understand if you left because nothing was working and I wasn't replying. I'm on live chat, right? Yeah. I haven't had that kind of issue anytime lately, but I know there for a while during the middle of summer I was having a lot of problems with seeing posts that people were commenting, but I wasn't seeing them for, 5, 10, 20 minutes sometimes before they finally pop up to me. And that was driving me nuts because people were trying to have a conversation. and then that put me in the habit of not looking as often when I'm not seeing people post. Because I'm busy chainmailing, I forget to start looking unless, somebody starts conversating. And if we're having more conversations, I will find myself looking more often. But if I start off a night with nobody commenting, through the next hour and a half, it slows down. The first half an hour I'm checking every few minutes. Next half an hour I'm checking, every 5 minutes. The last half an hour, I've noticed sometimes I forgot to check altogether. I'm just yammering and weaving and not thinking. But when I get into weaving sometimes, like I said, I'll forget things. I forget to eat. I'll forget to do many things when I get into really getting into weaving at some points. It's like, I forget what time it is. I'll be sitting here for an hour. I normally, like as I said, though, I try to do about half-hour increments because I don't want to push my hands too far. They're getting harder and harder to work with every year. So I'll normally, out of an hour, I'll work probably 40-ish minutes, because I'll work 20 minutes, I'll take a 10-minute break, work another 20, 30 minutes, take another 10, 15-minute break, when I'm working on a big project or working on an order or something like that, that's normally about what I do. Strings, I sit down for the longest amount of time, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I don't need 10. But I do stop every couple minutes or every little bit here while I'm doing a string, get a drink. That kind of helps. Sometimes I stand up. I'm probably going to need to stand up here soon because my booty is starting to get sore. It wants its pad. You know, the cat's not on my other chair, though. I could easily enough grab it, I guess. But yeah, I can't believe we're already into October. That is still... This whole summer has kind of flown by in a way. There's still a lot of things going on that I've gotten done and did, but it still feels at times it's like you did nothing. Just with not doing as many events as I'm used to. But again, I got to thank everybody that has joined us and went to our website or just contacted me, and I sent out invoices to order stuff from us. It's been great. I mean, that's definitely made this summer and early spring is kind of when it started picking up nicer. You know, you get a little bummed sometimes when you're not being able to get to events and sell stuff. You're just creating and not selling. My biggest thing is getting everything put on the website. That'll probably help a little bit. Then advertise myself. I still have yet to figure out the advertising myself. It feels so wrong in a way. I mean, I know you got to, but it feels weird to me. That's kind of one reason why I don't do a camera on my face most times, because again, that just feels weird. It's like I don't want to be any type of influencer or anything like that, because those people just drive me nuts sometimes. And so, you know, it's been one of those more difficult things when it comes to my chain mailing is advertising myself and getting myself out there. You know, I follow a bunch of places where I could post stuff and advertise a little more, but like I said, it just feels so weird. I hate doing it. I could post a ton of different little things that I've done to a lot of the chainmail pages that I'm part of, the groups and stuff, but again, it feels so weird sometimes. You know, most of the time I only wait for some bigger project that I'm doing or something to post those instead of, you know, I could post something every day. I'm making something, working on something every day that I could make posts of. But then again, it's like, if I start doing that daily, it just starts feeling weird. I just, you know, I can't get past that still. I try and I try. I think the stream has actually helped me a bit, getting me a little bit more better. That is what I'm going to sound right. A little more comfortable with it, I guess, but it's just one of those weird things. I mean, I know it's probably not narcissistic, but, you know, that's what it kind of feels like if I start saying, hey, come look at my stuff. I got good stuff, blah, 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 blah. It feels so weird. I'm proud of my stuff. I like my stuff. I think I do a good job. But whenever I start telling that to people, even just saying it right then, knowing that there could be somebody watching or watching this later, it still feels a little weird. You know, I can say it to myself, but even then, you know, everything I do, I always criticize my own work more than anything, so I'm afraid to say, hey, look at this great piece, when I know it's like, I know I could have done better, or something like that. Especially if I'm working on an inlay or something. It's like, I know if I did this, it'd probably be a little bit better. If I did that, I know it'd probably be a little bit better. So I don't want to say, hey, look at this cool thing, when I'm thinking it could be better. And that's pretty much been anything that I've ever done for the most part of my life. It's like, I like it, it looks good, people seem to like it, but I know it could be better, so I hate saying, hey, look at this cool thing. I just feel I could have done better. Wrong one. So yeah, we'll definitely get this row done too. This will be row 3, I think, since we started. Actually making pretty good progress tonight. I guess probably 1 without comments. I'm looking less, so that helps speed up time. I don't have to read comments. Though I enjoy it, though. You know, the other night when I had when I did the giveaway, I was a little more commenty on that night, and I think it was Monday night we had think at one point I had like 6, 7 people. And I mean, again, that doesn't sound like a lot, you know, when some of these people can have thousands watching it at any given time. For me, that's a lot. Had some kind of cool conversations and stuff, so that kept me a little more talkative, and you know, it was kind of nice, but I did definitely get a lot less done. I was working on the Monday night. I'm actually working on some purse frames to make coin purses. I've got a little one, I got a medium-sized one, and I got kind of a larger one. So you have to check us out on Monday. That's what I plan on doing on the next several Mondays, is I'm going to work on some different weave styles to go into the same frames. And I got the 3 different frames. I'm actually looking at getting a couple more different size frames to do for those, but yeah, I want to do some in color. I got some that I want to do in a different weave, see if it'll work. I'm actually starting kind of on a harder side, I think, because I know I could easily do one. I haven't done anything like these, but with a basic 4-in-1 weave, working one way or the other, right way or wrong way, I pretty much know how it's going to work. I know where I'd have to take out my rings to make a shape, blah, blah, blah. So those are like, man, that'd be kind of easy to start with. So I'm starting with something a little different. Still pretty easy. I mean, I know contractions and expansions pretty well now. Through the years, I've experimented and know how many I should kind of add to expand it so much, blah, blah, blah. If you ever seen the big 2-footer I did, you know, that definitely, all the different ring sizes I used on that and stuff, that definitely helped me learn, because there was a lot of pulling in and out on that thing as I was going along, since it was kind of the first big thing that had contraction and had any kind of contractions, expansions on it. Was basically all contractions because I worked from the outside in. But then I also was changing ring sizes as I moved, so you need less expansions if you're changing ring sizes as you go down through it. But I definitely learned a lot by doing that. That was one of the first kind of bigger things that I'd actually done, like circle-wise. And so yeah, you'll have to come check us out on Monday night, see those. I actually did get some time. I spent a little more time actually working on that this past week than I did this. Only because, again, it's something new. Something I hadn't tried before, so it's always like, well, I want to see if I can get to a point, does it even work? That's always the biggest thing. When I was trying something new and everything like that, it's like, is it going to even work? Because if it doesn't work, I kind of just wasted all that time, so I spend more time on it in case it doesn't work. In case I need to go a different direction. And we'll get this one done. Where are we at anyway here? 1:16, so we are getting close. We'll probably get a little bit into this next row before we close up shop tonight. But anyway, I was talking about Monday night, so you'll just check us out on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays at 7:30 p.m. Central Times. Those are all my scheduled streams. Here lately, I haven't added any others in, but there have been times where I'd added in a Saturday stream sometimes, so you just have to check it out, keep an eye out, give us Facebook likes and shares, get notified on YouTube and Twitch, because we could throw out a surprise stream and stuff at times, especially once November and December hit. That'll probably happen more often then. 6, 8, 9. And so yeah, you can check us out those nights. Monday nights are medium project. Wednesdays are small project. Try to do something that finishes up within the hour-and-a-half stream. Or sooner. Sometimes we do 2 bracelets, or we're doing keychains. We can do several. And I think I worked on some... Did I do the book marks? I can't remember if I did bookmarks during that or not. But I made up a bunch of those, and they were quick and easy. Well, Monday night we were talking about the ear hoops, the ear cuffs. Depending on how you look it up, you can find, but I got some info from both John and Stephen Hoffman that I've actually got like 20 sets of those coming now. I ordered several different styles, I think 3 different styles, and several of each of those styles, so that might end up being what we do next Wednesday. And then on Thursday nights are large projects I normally do in some type of inlay. That's what I've kind of basically done till now, and this again is basically an inlay, and I knew it was going to take a little longer, so we threw that in. Next will be another portrait picture that will start up hopefully here in, after next Thursday. We'll get it going, because like I said, I want to finish this up by next Thursday for sure. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, I almost thought I went too far again. At least I found out early enough if I did. But yeah, I'm only going to have, after this, where I'll have 7, 9 more rows to do. You know, half an hour per, maybe, and I know it'll probably be less than that, so under 4 hours left in this project for the most part. So I'm hoping I can get some time in this weekend on it. I'm going to try to push on that, because like I said, I do want to finish it up next Thursday, so we can move on to a new project. I'm sure if some of you have been here on this or watch these later, it's like, well, he's got a lot of chessboard video. But I guess I kind of did too when I was doing any of the Chiefs flag and stuff, because then I was streaming almost every night of the week as I slowly worked it up, even though it's somewhat quick. I could have done it quicker, but I did slow down a bit being on stream, and then I also want to do a time lapse, so that, you know, setting up cameras every day to videotape all that stuff can be time consuming too. And then taking in other orders. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. So we're getting there. We are getting there. Give me a quick drink here. Check everything again. We're out in 20. And I hope again we ran this stream long with having some issues that was showing me. Hopefully everything works out for y'all if you end up watching this. I'll check it out, and if not, I'll be uploading the video for it that I have done of it tonight. And again, I do want to thank everybody that's come and joined us for any of these. I always have a good time when people can show up and join in and chat. I know everybody's got things to do on their own, so I don't expect a ton of people here. I know there's been some of these nights where I've done it where I've had nobody actually show up at all, at least that I could tell, with no comments stuff, but I still put them out there and let people, you know, go view them. I know I've seen people on the YouTube that have gone back and watched some of the live videos. Not live, they've watched them later, so I haven't had anybody comment on those yet, but I know people have gone and watched them. So I do thank everybody for all that. If you're local and you've been to any of our events and you've now catching some of this stuff, you know, that's all good too. I know I've got a little following here in town of people that enjoy my stuff, and if I show up someplace, they will normally kind of pop up out there, see what's new, even though they might have already seen it on Facebook. Though there are some things, I've mentioned this a few times to a few people, there are some things that I've actually not put pictures up on Facebook of, or on my website. Not that I'm trying to hide it per se from anybody, it's just, you know, I do like to have some things that are at events that are just kind of, you know, gotta be an event to see it, kind of. Some things it's just because it's a test piece. I haven't fully finalized anything, and I'll take some of those along with events so I can show, you know, this is a work in progress type thing. And I don't put a lot of work in progress stuff up. Now with the stream, that's a little different. You will see progress, obviously. But some of the other stuff that I've worked on here and there, you know, I've got a Wonder Woman top that I've been working on for quite a bit of time. I haven't put any time in it lately, but I like to take along that kind of stuff. Say, you know, this is work in progress. 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. Be able to show that kind of thing. So I think anybody that shows up locally and can check anything out. Hoping one day to make some road trips myself and see some other mailers at different places that I've become friends with through the years. I'd love to be able to go out and check out, meet up with Sean White would be cool over at Mailworks. I've still got I got 3 shirts I want to order from him. I'm waiting on him to give me a colored one that I'm wanting. I don't know how much longer I'm going to be wait on that one, Sean. I might end up still just going ahead and ordering the other ones that I want anyway, and then wait for that. But I've been trying to wait so I can get them all at the same time. But I don't know if that's going to last too much longer because I'm ready to get some more shirts. He's got some chainmail printed items that he does. He's got all kinds of cool blankets, shirts, puzzles, jackets, leggings, shoes, seat covers. I'd love to have, 3 of everything he's got, honestly. And there's still other things that he's talked about doing that I'd love to see and I'd want to get too. So, and there's several down in Florida. I'd like to meet up with John here that comes and visit our stuff. And I mean, I know he doesn't really do a business thing per se, but it'd be still cool to meet up with other chainmailers. There's many others that I'd love to meet up with at some point. Steampunk Garage and Jennifer and Bracken over at Bracken Mail, Joshua, even some others, like Hannibal King. I'm not even sure where he's from. I haven't seen him a ton lately, but he's done some awesome leather work and chainmail things. Stephen Hoffman, I guess he was here this week with us. It was nice to see him. He's kind of been a guy that I've watched for a long time that I enjoyed. I felt actually a little privileged seeing him in my stream the other day. It was like, I would have never expected you to come watch me. I'm not, it was just one of those weird things. It'd be almost like, meeting up with a celebrity in a way, even though they're not necessarily a celebrity, but in my eyes, some of these people, I'd just love to meet up with, and would be a little shy in a way, just because it's like, what do I say to this person that I've followed that I like that's done awesome stuff? Lisa Ellis. There's a lot of them out there that and they have started actually been doing a chainmail meetup. It's been down in Florida, down south, someplace I really can't make it for the most part. But that'd be one of the best times where I can meet up with a lot of people. Though I don't, like I said, I'm kind of an introvert, so meeting up with a lot of people at once is a little nerve-wracking for me. But that's what these shows actually are, kind of therapeutic for me in a way. It kind of gets me out there. And every event, every stream, I always get a little nervous before they happen. It's like, okay, I need to calm down, get it together. But yeah, that'd be a weird thing too. It's kind of like years ago when I used to race RC cars. He was just a normal guy that was a racer, that raced RC cars. But he was also a Chiefs player. It was Reggie Tongue back in the day. It's been several years now. And so I couldn't talk to him as a racer like I would any other racer, even though that's all he basically was there that night. But it's somebody I watched on TV, and it was very difficult to have a normal conversation with him. I always felt like I needed to say something different or something. I don't know. It's just weird. But it was still cool. I mean, how often can you say you got to race RC cars with a fellow racer that turned out to be in a way, a celebrity, I guess. I mean, he played on the Chiefs, he was an athlete, and stuff like that. So, yeah, it was really strange. First time I noticed him at the track, I was like, why does that look like Reggie Tongue? And then throughout the night, come to find out, it was him. It was like, okay, this is just really weird, guys. I don't, how do I talk to him? Like a normal person? How can I do that? It feels so unnatural. So, let's go ahead. We'll go ahead and finish up these 9 rings here, and then we'll go ahead and call it quits for tonight. So we're going to kind of start our ending spiel here, I guess. I've already said thank you many times to the stream, but I do thank you all. I mean, if it wasn't for the people that do show up at times, it would make this a little more difficult. But knowing that I have people showing up at times, come see what's going on, it's great. It makes me happy, makes me want to do it. So I do thank you all again. Don't forget to check out our YouTube and Twitch. If you got accounts there, go give us some likes and follows on those too. The more we can get out there and get shared, maybe the more people will see. I mean, I know there's a lot of chainmailers that do some videos that just post up videos. They don't really do a lot of live streaming, but I do want to add some of that into my repertoire per se over time. So just go give us some likes and stuff over there. And on Facebook, give us some shares. Hearts, thumbs up, wows. Those always work better than the thumbs up, I guess. But I'll take anything I can get. Let people know we're out here. We're doing stuff. Always doing something. And if you ever have any questions about anything chainmail related, you're unsure, if you're kind of new, I'm not, I don't know anything about, chainmail, but, I've got a pretty decent knowledge base, and if it's something I don't know, I actually do know a lot of other chainmailers there. I can put you in touch with some people and get you to the people you need to see to get what you want done. People have done that for me when I kind of got into it, so if it's something I can pay back to the chainmail community, I try to do so. So, yeah. Don't forget, just give us all those likes and all that good stuff. It is Thursday, so we won't be back till next Monday. Next Monday night, we'll be there for small project night. Or medium project night. Yeah, working on the purses on Monday. So I hope to see you then. Otherwise, you all have a great weekend. Have a good beginning to your October. Hope the first weekend goes well for you. It's my birthday Sunday. I'll be half a century old. So, that's what I kind of plan on this weekend, is band birthday, which will be football and some racing. So, y'all have a great weekend, and we will catch you on Monday night. So, see you later.